Here is how every Targaryen dragon died. Starting with Meraxes, the dragon of Queen Rhaenys. She died in a battle in Dorne. A massive bolt from a scorpion struck her in the eye. She fell, crashing. Queen Rhaenys, too. The skull of Meraxes was later brought to Aegon the Conqueror by a peace delegation. The second to die was Quicksilver. Maegor the Cruel challenged his nephew, Aegon the Uncrowned. Maegor was riding Balerion. They fought, and Balerion killed Quicksilver easily. You could say it was the first time a dragon killed another dragon in Westeros. Next is Balerion, the greatest of them all. He died of old age. Balerion was brought to Dragonstone in 114 BC and died in 94 AC. He lived for about 207 years, too old and weak to fly. Some say that a dragon is a magical being, and it's hard to believe a magical being can die of old age. That's why many think he died from the injuries he suffered throughout his life, especially in old Valyria. Balerion never truly recovered after he returned from Valyria. Now we reach the Dance of the Dragons. The first to die here was Arax, Lucerys' dragon, and as we all know, Vgar was guilty of this crime. Fire and Blood doesn't offer details of what exactly happened up there between the two dragons, but House of the Dragon presented the battle very well. Next is Meleys. There are two ways to describe her death. One is from the show's perspective, where Vgar killed her in a sneak attack after a hard battle, and then the Fire and Blood version, where it was a chaotic clash, 3 dragons locked in battle mid-air before crashing together. Only Vhagar survived the fall. Meleys was dead, and Sunfire was left extremely injured. From this point forward, spoilers for Season 3 and 4 of House of the Dragon. This happens in the first episode of Season 3. Vermax, Prince Jaehaerys' dragon, flew too low and crashed into the sea. He might have been hit by a bolt. Vermax drowned. In the same battle, Aegon the Younger, Rhaenyra and Daemon's son, escaped on his dragon Stormcloud. But Stormcloud was heavily injured, struck by multiple arrows and a bolt in the neck while fleeing the battlefield, and died within an hour of bringing Aegon home. Next, Vgar and Caraxes. Vgar was 181 years old, the largest dragon after Balerion. Caraxes was around 92. They fought above the God's Eye. Caraxes tore open Vgar's throat, but Vgar ripped open his belly. They crashed into the lake, Vgar drowned, and Caraxes resurfaced briefly, then died. Then came the storming of the Dragon Pit, where 5 dragons were killed by common men. Shrykos was killed by a man named Hob the Hewer. Murghul was slain by the Burning Knight. Tyraxes was killed by the mob. Dreamfire broke her chains and flew within the pit. She killed more men than the other 3 combined, but got hit in the eye by a bolt, flew upward, and crashed into the ceilings of the dragon pit. Cyrax wasn't in the pit originally, but reached there during the chaos and was killed. Some say Hob the Hewer killed her, others say it was an unknown spearman, and some claim it was Sir Warwick Wheaton. Sunfire was heavily injured at the Battle of Rook's Rest. As he recovered at Dragonstone, he faced Moondancer. Even half-healed, he managed to defeat her. But Sunfire couldn't recover from his combined old and new wounds and died. Next, another multi-dragon battle. Seasmoke, Vermithor, and Tesseron. Adam of Hull attacked the Green Army at night. Daeron Targaryen was killed. Hugh Hummer rushed to Vermithor, but was also killed. Tesseron started fighting Seasmoke, and then Vermithor joined in. Vermithor killed Seasmoke, but collapsed and died soon after. Tesseron, heavily injured, tried to fly 3 times, but failed. A Blackwood lord asked his best archer to give her a mercy kill. Tesseron was put down. Then came mourning. The cause of death is unknown. It happened in 153 AC. And then the last dragon, unnamed, died sometime later. Cannibal, a wild dragon, didn't participate in the war and disappeared after the dance. No one knows how he died. Silverwing also went wild, and the cause of death remains unknown. Sheepstealer vanished along with his rider. Grey Ghost, a wild dragon who lived on Dragonstone, was killed by Sunfire. So, that's pretty much all of them. And of course, there are the later dragons from Game of Thrones. Drogon, Viserion, and Rhaegal, they were all alive for a time.